Yosi, and I am waiting until marriage before having sex. Now, I'm doing this video for the youngsters who are thinking of embarking on this journey, and there's that thought that no one is doing this. I mean, who waits until marriage? Well, I am one of those who are waiting until marriage before having sex, and I know that there are several people that are waiting until marriage before having sex. And this video is to show you, first of all, that it's possible, and how to go about it, and why is it important. So let's get started. First of all is the why. You have to have a strong why for why you do not want to have sex before marriage, because if you don't have a strong why, trust me, you're going to give it up before marriage. So it's important for you to know the why, and the why has to be strong enough. Now, the reason why I am doing this is because I am a Christian, and I believe strongly in obeying the scriptures. I believe that if you are going to call yourself a Christian, then you have to abide by the instructions, the rules, and everything that is part of being a Christian. Being a Christian means being Christ-like and obeying what the Lord says. So one of the instructions given to us by God is that we need to keep our bed undefiled, and we need to only have sex within the confines of marriage. So if you are not married, no sex for you. So the reason behind doing this is because I call myself a follower of Christ, and so I'm an ambassador of the kingdom of Christ, and I have to do what is by my culture. That's my Christian culture. So I am going to obey that and not have sex before marriage. And I know that God will not tell us to do something that is impossible. So He has given us the strength to do that. And that is the why that I have for embarking on this journey. Now to the principle that guides me in this journey. So when I decided to embark on this journey, of course, it's not been easy. It's not been like as if I'm just perfect and that I don't have feelings or any of that. But God gave me a picture that actually helped me to abide by this my stand, and that principle has always helped me, and I keep seeing that picture in my mind, and that keeps me going. And I'm going to share that picture with you today. So the picture was a tree and fruits on the tree. Now there were fruits on the ground, there were fruits scattered all over the tree, and the interpretation that I got was this. So people are like the fruits from the tree. There are several types of people, and they're categorized based on the being fruits on the tree. And the first type of people will be the fruits that are on the ground. Now this instruction is not given to only females, and when we say that you need to be a virgin or you need to wait until marriage, it's not for only females. So it's not for you to get a clap at the end of the day to say, oh, my husband was the first to sleep with me, and so I should get a trophy, or any of that. No, it's for both male and females. Now back to the tree, there are certain fruits that are on the floor, and when you see fruits on the floor, anyone can actually just bend down and pick the fruits and eat it. Just wash it and eat it. Some might not even wash it. It is easily accessible to everyone and anyone, right? So if you're going by your day and you see fruits on the floor just by the tree and you are hungry, it's very easy for you to just reach out to the fruit that just falling on the ground and just pick it up. And the fruit on the floor represents some people. Some people fall under this category as people who are easy. So these people, you don't need any effort or any stress really to get them in bed with you, and this applies to both women and men. Now, like for women, somebody just needs to say, oh, hi, and I like you, or say something nice to you, and the next thing you've started catching feelings, and the next thing you've given them leeway. Like, you don't have any restriction or anything. You are open to anyone and everyone. These are people that can do a one-night stand. They just go to a bar or go somewhere, meet someone today, and the next thing they're in bed with that person. They are easy. Everybody can have them really. And same thing for a guy. A girl just needs to seduce you, or just needs to wink at you and just play with you a little, and the next thing you've already fallen and you're giving yourself to that person. That categorizes certain types of people. Now the second type of people will be the fruits at the, the bottom of the tree. Now that needs a little effort for you to get it. So all you need to do is just to stretch up a bit and pluck the fruit and eat it. So of course some people wouldn't want to take the fruits that are on the ground because they feel, it's bad, it's dented, it's no longer as fresh. So they would rather take the ones that are at the bottom of the tree. They're not going to stress or do the extra to get it. They don't want to stress for anything. And this is likened to people where people just need to do a little bit, just a little bit, to get in bed with you. For ladies, it might be that they just have to you know talk to you, take you out, make you feel a little bit special, just give you a little bit of attention, and the next thing you're in bed with that person. The same thing for a guy. Maybe the girl just needs to um, make rub your ego, make you feel like you're a man, make you feel good, and the next thing you just feel, this girl, I can have such, I can have sex with her. So you kind of place a word that, oh, I'm not easy. At least the guy tried, the guy did this for me, or the girl did this for me, so I was able to, at least that's the reason why I'm sticking with the person. So you're kind of seeing yourself as better than the person that is on the ground, because you're not free for all. The person has to at least do a little bit to get you. So those are the fruits that are on the base, as in the lower part of the tree. Now there are those that are in the middle of the tree, the fruits that are at the middle of the tree. Now these kind of people, you need a little bit extra effort to get to them. Now these are people that, you are not going to just say nice words to them and they will just get allow you in bed with them. You have to come with the extra. So you have to have some sort of skills or expertise, or you must do a little bit more. You have to give more. So these people will not allow anyhow person in their bed. Now a lot of people fall under this category because they feel like, for you to be my boyfriend, you have to act right, you have to be able to treat me in a certain kind of way, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to be X and Y and Z, whatever standard that you set for yourself, and that gives you the satisfaction to know that this person meets my standard, and so I can give it up, right? And well, that is it for those kind of people. Now the last kind of people are the us the waiting until marriage kind of people. These fruits are at the topmost part of the tree, and of course, if you know, the fruits that are on the topmost part of the tree, they receive those nutrients from the sun properly, and so they are better, they're juicier, and not any how person, no matter how skilled and good you are, not anyhow person can actually get to the topmost of the tree. It has to be the very skilled climber, or the very expert guy that can actually climb to that tree, to the top, to get the fruit. And the key is this: for those who would have to do all of that effort to climb to the topmost part of the tree to just get the fruit, are not going to want to eat that fruit on the roadside. If they wanted to eat the fruit on the roadside, they would have easily just taken the one on the bottom, or the one in the middle, or the one on the floor, in fact. But for them to want to actually climb to the topmost part of the tree is because they want to take that fruit home. And usually the fruits that are at the topmost part of the tree, that are robust, that have the nutrients and you need the extra to get, are usually taken to the king's palace. And this is for those who are waiting unto marriage. So these kind of people are not going to give it up, no matter how sweet you talk, no matter how experienced or how qualified you are, no matter whatever you have. They are not going to give it up, because you have to do the maximum, you have to do right by them to the very end, to the topmost, to be able to get them. And for you to be able to do the topmost mean you're going to have to do all. That means you're going to climb to the very end, you're going to do all to get them, and that means getting married to them. So if you're not going to get married to this set of people, then you're not going to have them, no matter how sweet and nice and wonderful you are. The end is still marriage. When there is marriage, then it's in that basis that we can have sex. So those who aren't interested in going all the way to the very end will actually fall by the wayside. And so it saves you a lot of stress, a lot of heartache, because you know that, I mean, everyone who comes by you will know that I should either bounce off now if I'm not interested in the long run, or I should be serious and take it all the way to the end. And only the experts, only the ones who are serious, only the kings and the queens will actually do the extra to get the very best. And that is what you are. So if you know your value, you would know that you are the person at the topmost part of the tree, and you should not be eaten by anyone. And that is the analogy that God gave me in terms of looking at this whole waiting until marriage and preserving yourself until marriage. No one, no matter how sweet, should be able to take the princess. And you are the child of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and so you are royalty. And that means that no one should be able to have you. You shouldn't be eaten on the roadside. You shouldn't be available to anyone, no matter how standard they are. You should wait for a king. You should wait for a queen, because that is the kind of quality that you need. And of course, a king and a queen would definitely want to do the very best by actually taking you home and doing right by you by getting married to you. So that is the analogy, and that's the principle that drives me. So no matter how amazing a guy is, I would never, give up that for him, because I know that if he's that awesome, if he's really a king, he will definitely take it to the end and marry me first before having that. So that's what drives me, and that has been keeping me going for years. I'm 29 years old now, and I am still waiting until marriage. Now to the journey. It is not a very easy journey, to be honest. And anyone who tells you that, oh, you just have to be all spiritual, and if you are spiritual you won't be feeling things and all of those kind of things, are deceiving you. Because the honest truth is that God put those feelings in you for the purpose of, enjoying it and having that pleasure in marriage. So it's not going to go off because you're not married. It's still there with you, but you're supposed to have self-control. So as you begin to grow, you begin to learn from your mistakes, you begin to put more boundaries, and you begin to set rules and guides for yourself in order for you to be able to actually wait until marriage. This thing is about discipline. So what are the ways that you can go about doing it so that you will not stumble on the way? So the first thing is for you to guard yourself. You have to learn to protect yourself. I did a video some time ago about protecting yourself as a woman, and this also goes even for guys. You have to make sure that you don't place yourself in places that would compromise yourself, or where you have to then fight to be able to get out of it, or where you are you have to be in a very awkward position. I have actually made mistakes in the past where I actually put someone else first. I actually put someone else's feelings first, and being in a position, in a place where I had to actually end up fighting to have my way to be able to get out of those situations. Why? Because I wanted to be nice and I wanted the person to feel comfortable. So of course you learn from that. So next time, I've known that, like, I have a rule now that says I am not going to go to a guy's house. If you like, shout from now to next day. I'm not going to your house. Why? Because if I'm in your house, then you have the upper hand in my own security, and I want to always be where I have the upper hand in my security, because I don't want that awkward moment where you want to, come at me and I have to start telling you no, 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 no all the time. Do you understand? So, and you don't want, and of course there's some people that are not willing to hear no, and then you have to fight. So God forbid that we are even in that situation in the first place. I've never been in such a situation, and God won't allow me to be in such a situation. But the point still remains: guard yourself so that you're not even in the situation in the first place, by not going to places where you're going to be alone with a guy. And this goes to guys as well. Don't put yourself in situations where you'll be so tempted that you'll not even know when you're already done the deed. So don't allow women to be in, you know, your space where maybe they're in your room or in your bed and things like that, or in places where you know that, I mean, you're already feeling a certain type of way. And don't think that you are strong, like as in you are powerful, you are all spiritual. The Bible says, take heed lest ye fall. And of course, I'm referring to the scriptures here because this principle is usually for those who are Christians who are preserving themselves until marriage. So guard yourself. Don't form hard guy. Don't form hard lady. Guard yourself and flee from all appearances of evil. Now, the second tip that you should have is to be careful who you move with. The people that you move with should actually know your stand. It's not something to be ashamed about. It's something you should be proud of. As I said, your royalty and you're acting like one. So you should be proud of it. I'm not saying you should start, despising people or telling people that they are less than you because they are not doing what you're doing. But your stand should be clear and people should know about that. Your friends, your clique, the people that you move with should be people that also have the same morals as you or similar morals as you, and be able to understand you and respect your decisions, so they will know not to demand certain things from you because they already know that this is your stand and this is your principle. So I mean, those who are not going to respect that, or those people who already tell you upfront that they are not for that, don't then think that okay, it's okay for you to now be very close with them, especially going to go and visit them, especially when it's the opposite sex, because they will come at you. A lady who doesn't believe in waiting until marriage comes to your house, there's a very high likelihood that she can, push herself at you, and before you know it, you have fallen. So the same thing as a guy who has sex, and you're not going to his house, there's every chance that he's going to want to try to have sex with you. So be careful who you move with, especially when it comes to having very close relationship with them, where you go to their houses, you stay in their cars, you do all of those things. Please be very careful. Those things are very important. And the third thing is your relationships. Definitely the person that you're going to be entering a relationship with must, keyword must be someone who is also on the same journey with you. Because someone who doesn't fear God and who feels it is okay for me to have sex with you and still be a Christian and still be godly is someone who will say tomorrow that he's okay in doing another type of sin, even in marriage. The person that you're going to be dating is someone who fears the Lord and who obeys him, and obeys him in all things. So they're not going to obey him in all things except sex. They're going to obey him in all things, so including that sex. And that's how you know the man who fears God. It's not everybody that goes to church that fears God, that respects the scriptures, that expects the instructions of God. So make sure that your spouse is somebody who respects that and who is on the same journey with you. That way the two of you can help each other out, because when the two of you are hanging out, because of the love that exists between the two of you, there are chances that emotions will start rising. You cannot keep on running away from your spouse. You cannot run away from your partner. It's just not possible. You cannot run away from that person. The person is someone that you love, you care about, you're going to be having conversations with, you're going to be meeting with this person. This person has to be somebody who's on the same page with you, and you know that this is sincere. It's not like the person just saying, okay, I've heard, but you can see from the person's actions that is a lie. Make sure that person is on board with you. So when emotions come, both of you can help each other out to stop. When you guys are watching that very beautiful movie on Valentine's Day and your body is doing your thing and your body is doing you somehow, as you your body is doing it somehow, you will know how to, excuse yourself, or you know how to sit up, and you know how to adjust, and the person gets the message, and the person also adjusts, and you guys help each other out. Even there are times when this person can make a move on you, and I'm saying this because I don't want you to go and break up your relationship because your boyfriend made a move on you in the heat of the moment. Please, body is not rude, to be honest. That means feelings are there, and there are times when sometimes you might feel the emotion, and you might actually come up to want to hug or cuddle up with someone. But when somebody is having that feeling, and the person maybe tries to you know express that feeling in the heat of the moment, and you're able to keep the person at bay and say, okay, no, 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 and respect the person's space, and maybe give the person some space, maybe walk away, go to the kitchen, or go somewhere, just or walk out together, or stuff like that. And then the person is able to calm down, or you're just able to say, oh no, and the person just remembers, you understand, and like let's get married fast fast. Those kind of things. I'm just kidding, but you get the idea. Let's not be pretending to be holier than thou. Understand? So those things can happen. Doesn't mean person is now a devil because the person had a feeling, but you guys need to be able to curtail it. But that's why the person has to be on the same page with you, so that even when the person makes a mistake based on the heat of the emotion, the person can easily check themselves out, because the partner is also going to check themselves out. But if the person, for instance, is not on the same page with you, the moment you are weak, the moment you are feeling that funny feeling, and you make a move, the person will jump on it like hungry lion waiting to devour. The person will jump, and next thing you know is sorry. After, God forbid that they'll tell you sorry after you are open. I'm sorry, this is funny, but to be honest, let us be very careful. Get the person on board with you, and everything will be well. So this is my 2 cents on waiting until marriage. Now, for those who have already had sex before marriage and are now thinking of jumping on board, don't let anybody shame you to say, oh, so you are now saying that you are a spiritual virgin. Yes, you are. Because the Bible says that all things have passed away, behold, all things have become new. That means you're a new creature. So the things that you've been doing in the past have been gone. And the reason why you're doing this, remember the beginning, the reason is because of God's instruction. So it's not because you want to get an applause from a guy or your husband. It's because you want God to be happy with you, that you're doing right by him. So the only person that you have to prove a point to is God. So when you've decided that I'm going to go on this journey, tell God about it, and of course follow the instructions and guard yourself and do it. And of course, when you're going to be speaking to that person who wants to marry you tomorrow, don't lie to the person that you are a virgin, that you've never done it before. Don't do that, because it will feel like you're deceptive. Be honest with the person that, okay, I've had sex before, but since XYZ period I have gone on this journey to keeping myself until marriage. Be honest. Don't try to hide it and say, oh, I'm a virgin, oh, I've been a virgin since I'm a Holy Spirit virgin. Be honest and tell the person, oh, I've had sex before, but since this period I have been waiting until marriage, and I've been faithful to that. That is it. And if the person wants to come on board, great. If the person doesn't want to come on board, say go away, come and be going. Somebody else will come. That's the honest truth. So anybody can jump on this at any time. I don't care if you have a prostitute before or whatever. Once you're ready to jump on this journey, your slate starts fresh and clean, and you're welcome on board. And say congratulations and welcome to the clique of those who are waiting until marriage. Now lastly, to those who are deceiving themselves and saying that they are waiting until marriage, yet they are doing everything else. Who are you deceiving if not yourself? You think that God is the person that you are deceiving, that you are saying, oh, I'm waiting until marriage, but yet they have touched you, they have done all XYZ, you're masturbating, you are watching porn, you are doing see. Don't deceive yourself. Don't deceive yourself. If you're engaging in any of that, you are not waiting until marriage. You're satisfying your sexual pleasures in one way or in another form. So don't deceive yourself. If you are dealing with that, you're battling with that, yes, deal with that with God and be serious about disciplining yourself. Now, I know that if you've been maybe addicted to pornography or masturbation or any of that, and it's a journey towards getting out of that, I understand that, and that doesn't make you less than anybody. But the point is, don't be comfortable in it and say, oh, and I'm talking about the hypocrisy of it, where you are doing this thing consciously and you are okay with doing it, and then you're coming out to say, oh, I'm a virgin. You're just deceiving yourself. If you're battling with all of these things, great, battle with it and be serious about it and be disciplined and fight this fight until you get out victorious, and God will strengthen you and we'll be praying for you as well. But don't be one of those who you'd have a boyfriend, you guys will be doing all the other things, and then you guys will see the same, we are waiting. I feel like stoning you because it's annoying. Because you put a bad name to those who are actually waiting on to marry, because they're not like everybody is doing other things. No, don't do that. So be honest with yourself, because as I said, this journey is not for you to get a clap from your husband or from your wife, or for anybody to say well done, or for them to give you complete 40 tubers of yam in Yoruba land. No, it's for God to say yes, you're done right. And if God will look at you and say, are you joking, then you're not doing anybody but yourself. You're actually deceiving yourself. So please do it with your heart, do it with a consciousness and a discipline, and be very serious about it. Now, in the process of doing it, if you fall, don't now say, oh, I've fallen, I have now had sex in the mix and so I can't go back. As I said, no matter where you fall, you can stand up again and start afresh, and you are good to go. So don't deceive yourself, and don't let the devil win you because you failed once. Get up again and try again and keep at it until you get victory, and God will give you the strength. The Bible says you will not be tempted beyond what you can bear. So that is it. I know this is sounding very Christian, but that is part of Christianity, is a part of my life, and it's part of enabling my outstanding self to ignite. So I want to introduce that even to this video, to tell you that it's possible for you to wait until marriage, and you need to come on board and join this clique. So thank you, and I'd like to see you in the next video. Until then, ensure that you make your outstanding self ignite. Bye.